Hey, how's it going, folks? So today I want to discuss are cheap Amazon faucets worth it? So while I was doing my home remodeling, I ran into a lot of questions, particularly these little guys here. When I went to the giant Home Depot in our area, these things were really expensive. They were usually about $200 to $300. So I figured, you know what? What's the worst that can happen if we go with a cheap Amazon knockoff? And so that's what this particular guy is. We're going to talk about the sink in another video. We're not going to focus on that, but I do want to focus on this guy. Now, the question is, how much was this thing? This is a brand called Wee Wee, which I'm not really sure if that's even how you pronounce it. But the cost was about $67.81. Not bad at all. Okay, and let me show you some of the features that you get that I was, trying to get with the other ones at the giant Home Depot. So let me set this up and I'll show you here very quickly. So here are some of the things I wanted in this particular item here. So from what I've read, a lot of people say that in these cheap Chinese ones, the hot and the cold are reversed. If that's the case, it's not a big deal. You can go under the sink and swap the hot and cold water lines. But this thing is pretty neat. You can, of course, pull this thing all the way out like that, as with the more expensive models. It also has these buttons here. This one is to stop the water. This one is to do, I believe, a spray here. So let's see how that works. I'm going to turn this on. As you can see, it's spraying. This stops the water, this little button right here. Okay, and then you can, of course, press it again to resume the flow. And then this button right here does the spray. So you can see I have that on like that. You flip this back, you go back to a normal type of spray. All right. This particular model here does about 2 gallons per minute, which is pretty impressive. That's straight out of the box. I didn't do any modifications to it. So I'll take you in a little bit closer so you can see how this thing is held up. Does it still retain its shine? And ultimately, would I buy it again? So let's take a very good look over here in detail at this thing. So as you can see, there are no rust spots on this as far as I can tell. The nozzle still looks pretty good, the spray nozzles, see that? It does come with a couple of spare parts, a filter and things like that, but I haven't had to use it. Now keep in mind, I've been using this thing for about, 4 years maybe. So it's been quite a while, and it still looks just as good as when I bought it. Okay, let's take you in a little bit closer here. As you can see, the handle doesn't seem to exhibit any rust spots at all. The brand, I believe, is right around there. It's really hard to see, but you can see the brand there. Wee Wee, I think is what it's called. Yeah, other than that, though, it looks pretty good. The finish is good. Of course, I cleaned it before I did this video, but I just did a very rough cleaning here. Let's take a look at the other side over here. As you guys can see, that's what it looks like. No rust spots as far as I can tell. Yeah, I absolutely have no complaints, and I am so glad I went with this model than with the $300 plus models. Honestly, I liked it so much that I bought another one for my RV. And it just works flawlessly. Okay, so let me take you under the sink here so you can see what the water lines look like that come with this kit here. All right, folks, so now we are under the sink here, and as you can see here, we have, and I have to use this flashlight right here, but this guy right here is the cold water line, the one that is in red sheathing. That is the red water line. So very nice feeling hoses. I don't think I ever had a problem with them, kinking them or anything. They feel very high quality. And of course, this black line that you see there, that's the weight. So let me see if I can pull that up for you. Let me just grab this guy here. That's the weight right there. So when you drag that head down, that weight forces it to go back inside of its little channel. So again, very premium feeling hoses here. I didn't have any problems with them. And I didn't have any leaks whatsoever. All right, so that pretty much takes care of this portion down here. Let's go back up one more time, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. So, what are my final thoughts on this thing here? Well, I think you guys can tell I'm a pretty big fan of it. I like it a lot. I like it so much, as I said, I bought another one for my RV. That one I haven't had any issues with either. It feels very nice. It feels the same as the more expensive ones from Home Depot. And, you know, I just wouldn't hesitate buying this thing. There are really no differences between these and the more expensive items, in my opinion. Okay, so I would say go for it, give it a shot. Again, I'm giving you one final look at it. No rust spots whatsoever. I will link this particular model down at the bottom. But if you were to ask me, are cheap faucets from Amazon worth it for the kitchen, I would say absolutely. And this one here is living proof. After 4 years, no problems whatsoever. Thank you guys for watching. I'll do a couple more videos on the stuff that I've done, remodeling wise around here, what I've bought, and do I find them worth it. Those seem to be pretty nice and popular with you guys. So, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.